Hey guys, welcome to Solar Side Hustle and thank you for being here. This is going to be my third video that I'm putting up here on YouTube on the site Solar Side Hustle. This video is going to be designed specifically for those people who are already in the solar industry, or actually, you know what, who may be thinking of getting into it. This is something that delves into quite a bit about who we are as a company, Powur, P-O-W-U-R. It is a live webinar, actually a little while back ago, but been recorded from Charles Thompson. All right, now I didn't know any other way to do this except for come on board here, shoot a video, put it on YouTube, and then I'm going to go back over here to my little laptop. And then behind me, I'm going to go ahead and play that video by Charles. All right. Now, I could have taken it, shared it to my site, but it is in a recorded webinar format. So instead of you having to go in, put your name, email, address, and all that good stuff in there, I'm going to go ahead and record it for you here for my channel for SolarSideHustle.com. Hope you guys get value from it. And again, I mean, if you are in the renewable energy industry, if you are thinking about coming into the solar side hustle business, you know, this is your opportunity. This is background of one of the geniuses that's in our company, and you can see some of his experience. You can see what he's doing. My team, Larry McKinney and Jody McKinney, will be beginning to do events. We're going to be doing talks. We're going to be getting out into the community in Pacific Beach, San Diego, and beyond, and further. And we are going to be sharing this presentation along with our video with Jonathan Budd and Jim Bunch that they do, which is the introductory video, which is an insane video. It's about 15 minutes long. This one here is about 25 minutes. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go ahead and head back over here and press play on this. Allow you guys to see it coming from my screen in my little beach cabin over here in Pacific Beach, San Diego. And again, hope you guys get value from it. This is going to be about 25 minutes. If you guys hear a little music going on, if you see a little background, me walking through, I'm trying to stay out of the screen. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this and appreciate you guys all very much. It is a beautiful Wednesday out there. Thank you for coming on board wherever you may be out there. And Vince Reed, which is one of the books that I'm over here reading about internet leads, trafficking. He says, I'll see you on the internet. Me, I'll see you in the sunshine. I'll see you in the sunshine. So here we go. Again, you know, hey, do it. Find what brings you joy and go there. Simple as that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and press play. Thank you guys very much and enjoy. Got enough power on my phone. All right, here we go. We are registering. Should be playing here. Having a little fun. Content. Here we go. Full screen. I may plug my phone in here just a second just to make sure that we are having enough energy. Go to webinar. I'll be taking notes on this as well. This is my second time going through it. So here we go. Who do you know that
Well,
uses
good
energy?
evening, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're calling.
Let Charles
My name
say
is Charles Thompson. I want to thank each of you for taking a few minutes to hear our story. And this message today is geared specifically
Thanks,
for
guys.
solar
Wanna plug this in?
professionals. Before we start, let me just kind of introduce a little bit about me. I spent 9 years in the United States Air Force. I then transitioned into civilian life as an electrical engineer.
All right.
Many years ago. I started with a manufacturer of capacitors in Los Angeles, California, a technology, oddly enough, that's very similar to solar. Cut my teeth in sales in the home security industry as I transitioned from an engineering degree and profession to a sales career. I knocked doors, sold home and business security systems, and gradually worked myself through the ranks in a company that was later acquired by AT&T. Over time, I transitioned into the deregulated energy industry, and I personally sold and built teams that helped millions of customers transition from one supplier of energy to another, all the while promoting dirty energy. And then 7 years ago, a little girl came into my life who was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. It woke me up to the things that we were doing to our environment, specifically with regard to pollution. I became very passionate about clean energy, and I came into the solar industry. I started selling solar systems, was co-owner of a solar company, and then worked with the largest suppliers of energy as they began creating sales organizations for solar. Years ago, the writing was clearly on the wall that renewable energy was going to accelerate and the growth, and they wanted to preserve their customer base. And while I did that, I witnessed firsthand the challenges that we all face as solar consultants. The constant changes, the manipulation of commissions, the delays in getting those payments, and so on. Not to mention the challenge with finding homeowners and the process of educating those homeowners, all the challenges that we had to deal with. And I don't have enough fingers and toes tenfold to count the agents and consultants who complained of all of the above and then some. I was waiting and searching for the right opportunity that could move away from what people often say the definition of insanity, doing the same thing but expecting different results. And Powur found me in December of 2015. I officially joined the movement on the 1st of 2016 in January. And this has absolutely been the ride of my life. I could never have predicted the amount of impact that has aligned with my morals, my visions, and my passion, not to mention the amount of people who would become part of this movement as I've built a team of thousands of advocates and advisors worldwide. Most of that's been done by helping others and coaching others to be able to duplicate success. And I'll talk a little bit about that and what it means in some of the upcoming slides. So enough about me. Why are you here? As a fellow solar entrepreneur, you've been selected to hear more about this movement, and this is what I'll refer to as the pre-education process. What I hope to do is let you know what we're going to do to change the industry and provide you with enough information to help you make an informed decision whether this is the right path for you. There is a better way, and I will introduce that to you today. But before I introduce our company, I want to talk a little bit about the challenges that we face and what that means, because there's lots of solutions that are available, and there is a better way. Let's first look at what we look at least in the United States. 50 states with 130 million homes plugged into the dirty energy grid. 90 million of those homes are eligible for what we market primarily, which is zero-down solar. And only about 1 million homes have made the transition to solar. That's the landscape. But all that's being powered by the dirty energy grid. About 7,700 power plants through the United States of America alone, and obviously more throughout the world. And what energy looks like today is it's expensive, it's only getting more expensive, it's dirty, it's scarce, and we're dependent upon utilities. We do not control our own power, and specifically, we don't control the cost of our power. Well, if you look even deeper, what makes it worse is there are emerging technologies that are going to put even more burden on the monopolized energy grid, which, as we know, draws from dirty energy. And these are just some of the disruptive technologies, a handful of them. And if you look at just the blockchain part of these technologies, there's studies that suggest that, first of all, Bitcoin is part of that network, and it's using as much energy as the country of Denmark today. And they predict in the next decade, they estimate that the mining for Bitcoin alone will use more energy than the entire population in the United States of America. So these technologies, although they're wonderful, they compound the problem. So problem, solution, clean energy. That's the solution. But look at what has happened in our industry. Most of the major brands have struggled to achieve profitability. They've been looking for a way to control the cost of client acquisition. Many of them have ended up in the graveyard during that process. I've worked with, consulted with, and unfortunately watched thousands of other consultants perish along with them. Again, challenge, problem, but we can talk about solutions. The challenge is, because of the demise of these companies, the lack of trust in this process, in this industry. And not only is there a lack of trust, there's a lack of education of homeowners, but there's also a lack of education of consultants. And I'm going to talk more about that soon. Clearly, the current marketing and sales efforts, they're not working. Acquisition costs are literally through the roof. And as a result, we've got less than a 3% market adoption. But that creates a huge opportunity for a company and for the consultants who are part of that solution. There is a better way. And before I show you what I truly believe is a better way, I feel it's important to understand what disruptive platforms have done. So I want to share a few examples with you. If you look at Uber, it has disrupted a $10 billion transportation industry. It's a platform. It's created a $68 billion company from a $10 billion industry. They don't own any cars. They don't employ any drivers. They've created an opportunity through that platform for an entrepreneur to become part of what is commonly referred to as Workforce 2.0. And through that platform, they allow a driver, and the platform being a mobile app, allow a driver to turn on their availability, turn it on, turn it off, when they're prepared to generate an income. That platform matches someone who needs a ride with someone who has a ride. They have created a better experience. Airbnb has done the same disruption to the hospitality industry. They're now valued at over $31 billion. They book more rooms than all of the top brands combined. They don't own hotels. They don't own rooms. They've created a platform by which someone who needs a room is matched up with someone who has a room. And because of this platform, they book more rooms, as we mentioned. They've created a way also for entrepreneurs to be part of that Workforce 2.0. And up until now, no one has done that to the monopolized energy industry, an industry that's valued at over $6 trillion. You can stack all of the disruptive platforms on top of each other. They pale in comparison to the opportunity that exists in the monopolized energy industry. With all that framework, I'd like to introduce Powur. Our mission is to accelerate the adoption of renewable energy on a worldwide basis. And part of that is a vision to focus on handling more than 2 million homes by 2025 with solar energy. And as we do this, we will pay out over $4 billion to consultants. That's where you come in. But how do we do that? We've had the platform conversation. That's what we've done. We've created the first international solar energy platform, a proprietary platform for solar providers on a worldwide scale. We currently have coverage in 41 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia. And through that platform, we're offering unprecedented access to zero-down solutions. Someone who has a need to reduce the cost of their energy with someone who has a solution. It's never been a question about the value of solar. Customers save money day one. Day one. They save money every single month. They increase the value of their home. oftentimes more than the cost of the system itself. They ultimately own their energy or power plant. They decrease their dependence upon the grid. They end up with a fixed cost of energy, unlike the continuously rising costs of the dirty energy monopolies, and they reduce pollution. I don't feel there's a better combination or a better value offering in any industry today. Not any industry. So why power? When I considered leaving a position with a top energy company in the world, I had to carefully review whether this was going to be the right choice for me. I considered the board of directors, a board of directors who has raised billions of dollars in venture capital money. I considered the leadership culture, one that I feel is unparalleled and truly entrepreneurial spirited. A company that is a public benefit company. And that's significant because it speaks to our culture. That a management team could successfully scale this type of entity, which has obviously been a serious problem when you look at the companies that have demised over the years. Just think about what it takes for a national player to open a new market. They have to invest hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of dollars building an infrastructure. They have undeniably are in the red before they generate a single dollar of revenue. Jonathan Budd, our CEO, a passionate entrepreneur, an internet legend, he's created a way with Powur to scale into a new market with virtually zero out-of-pocket costs. So finally, a solution that the solar energy, renewable energy space needs. Jim Bunch, a world-renowned leader, personal development expert. He is our president. He rivals the best of the best. He has mentored other names, household names, and coaches over his life. Bobby's our VP of sales with an impeccable background in direct sales. He also led a national nonprofit cancer foundation. He followed his passions. He's an incredible leader. He has the skills that are needed to drive entrepreneurs like us because we need to be driven. And those are just a few leaders I can mention. But it's also a company who had a crowdfunding campaign that in a matter of days blew the records, blew the top off of the records, anything that's ever been accomplished in crowdfunding. They had to shut the campaign down because they raised so much money, and we continued. Who knows what would have happened? And a company that's focused on education. Not just a company focusing on educating homeowners, but education of the people who will help those homeowners through the pathway. And most importantly, a company who created a platform that you can monetize. There's nothing like it in the industry today. By the time people figure it out, they will be in our rear view mirror. And how have we done that? By creating the platform, but then we had to create a pathway. A pathway for an entrepreneur like you to participate in what I truly believe will be the greatest shift of wealth in history. Our first pathway is that of an advocate who refers solar prospects with no sales skill necessary whatsoever. Now, this may not be something for you, but it could potentially be for someone who is going to become part of your organization or your grid, as we refer to it, and driving leads to you for you to close. And we pay them. We pay them up to $45 per appointment. They also receive an average of $550 when a customer converts to solar. Half of that's paid at permitting, and half of that is paid at installation. Our installation time frame is 61 days worldwide. Some companies out there are making it 6 months, some a year. We're doing it in less than 61 days. In some markets, less than 30 days. The time to permitting can be 1 to 3 weeks. This has been the Achilles heel of the industry, as we know it. So we've solved these challenges through the platform, through the partnerships that we have, and we have the cash flow. And because you are a solar entrepreneur, you can be eligible to become a consultant on what we'll call our Fast Track program and earn an average of over $2,000 per installation. There are stories every day that are coming and crushing that number. We had one announcement last night from one of our newest vice presidents of directors who earned, I think it was $2,700 and had a 45-minute total amount of time invested and earned nearly $3,000. We are going to change the way the industry works because we're not going to have a conversation about what we pay per watt. People don't need to understand that. We pay with profitability. We pay extremely well. Our company operates on a very thin margin of about 30%, and the other percent is offered to our field, to our consultants, to our leadership team who will mentor them to success today. There's nothing like it in the industry. We also receive personal mentorship, coaching with one of our leaders in our executive ranks on a live online event 3 times per week. You receive a handbook that gives you or your advocate who's helping you all the tools necessary. This could be somebody who's an everyday person, a school teacher, a homemaker, anyone who's looking to make a part-time or full-time income, referring people to you to go solar. You also receive a solar mastery course. Again, you may not need this, but someone who's just getting into the industry, they need to understand, have confidence, and approach it as such. Through that course and that handbook, they'll have everything they need to build a business within our business and refer that business to you. And a platform that crushes the expectations that I could ever have had in this industry. I mentioned a couple of companies I work with, 15 to $20 billion companies who brag about their platforms. And their, quote, platforms, unquote, pale in comparison to what we have created at Powur. In some months, Powur's invested over $100,000 to continue to improve and deliver this platform to all of us. And they continue to invest $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 per month in a CRM. A CRM, a client relationship management software application that you can track your business every step of the way. So forget about paying Zoho or Salesforce $40 to $80 per month just for that service, or creating complicated spreadsheets to track the journey that you're having with your customer. All that's included with the license you receive as an advocate. And by the way, I keep referring to leads being referred to you. You have the opportunity to become an expert. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. So that's the first pathway. The second pathway is our Powur Advisor. All the same benefits that an advocate receives, but you also receive the ability to build a team. A team for which every dollar that's paid out to them is paid on your behalf, each and every one of those team members. Just think about what it takes to just track commissions and then pay those commissions. The amount of time and effort it takes out of your day-to-day operation, the cost, the liability. You don't worry about any of that. You also get access to a leadership academy that rivals anything in the market today. It'll help coach you through team building, through running events, through leading people to success. The value of this alone is thousands and thousands of dollars. And the ability to build a team and passive income to whatever scale you desire. And I'm going to talk a little bit on a personal note on this. As a vice presidential director, I override thousands of people's efforts and successes every day. I get paid to infinity. There's no limit for every appointment that's generated within my entire grid or my network. I get paid to infinity for every person who refers and closes a solar contract. I get paid on permitting and installation. I receive production and performance bonuses that would blow your mind. I receive a check match for every person I mentor to success. That's the key, is helping other people succeed when they reach senior management or above. Up to 25% of what that person receives, I get that in the form of a check match. It costs that person nothing. It rewards me tremendously for helping that teammate succeed. I say that because you can do the very same thing. The very same thing. And over time, you have the ability to override thousands and thousands of appointments and installations. With any business, there's a cost that's associated. Now, an Uber driver has to invest into preparing their vehicle, getting proper inspections, getting insurance, and so on. An Airbnb host has to make sure that the land is maintained, the home's cleaned, all the various licenses and inspections are handled, and so on. They are each likely to spend thousands of dollars to position themselves to be part of workforce 2.0. Well, let's talk about Workforce 2.0. You can become an advocate with our company and start referring immediately. You can start closing contracts since you are a solar consultant. We'll put you in the fast track that I mentioned. So not only can you start referring, but you can start closing the day you enroll and become part of our platform. We expedite that process for you. That licensing fee that you look at covers all of the training, covers all of the access to the platform on an international level, and it gives you that built-in CRM that you would normally pay $40 to $80 a month if you were going with Zoho or Salesforce examples. That would cost you up to $500 to $1,000 a year, and all that's for $99. So I mentioned 3.0, Workforce 3.0. Imagine if the entrepreneurs in Uber or Airbnb could become part of 3.0. What's the difference? If a driver could mentor another driver and check match what that driver got paid, or get a percentage of every ride they did, creating passive income, that is Workforce 3.0. Would that be worth something? Well, that's the advisor position. The advisor position allows for you to build a team and generate passive income. You can build passive income to whatever extent you determine, how big or small it needs to be. And of course, there's more cost for us in licensing, the training, all the things that I mentioned in the previous slides. The only difference is $299 versus $99. If you enroll one customer, you X your return on your investment, and you put yourself on a pathway to financial stability, potential life-changing income, potential generational changing wealth that I'm beginning to witness. But that's up to you to decide whether you just want to refer and get a good income, or whether you want to refer and build and get a passive income, generate that wealth. Why now? This is your opportunity to be an early adopter. There's only a handful of people who will be able to make this immediate transition to expert in a market and then capture the audience. Be the first to capture the audience. We currently have over 4,500 people in our platform who can refer leads to experts. We're beginning to create the expert. That number of people is going to grow who are referring, and the number of experts are going to grow as well. You could be the first of those groups. You also have the potential, as I mentioned earlier, to override thousands of appointments and installations monthly or annually, depending upon how big you want to grow. So there's no limitations, but timing is everything. This is yours. I hope what I've done is given you enough information to see whether or not, and I hope it is, the pathway for you. You'll have freedom. The freedom to build the business on your own time without the corporate nonsense that I experienced, as I'm sure you have as well, without the politics or the fear of what they will or won't do, without the concerns of how tariffs or other issues could impact your business, because yes, we're national, international, yet we're partnered with the best local and regional companies who can navigate these issues and be more nimble